Welcome to Modern Study Pro. In today's video, we'll be studying Chapter 10 of Chemistry. We'll go through all the important concepts step by step in a clear and easy way, so you can understand them better and prepare well for your exams. Let's get started. 1. What is the optimal temperature range for the fermentation of glucose to produce ethanol? Answer: B. 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. Explanation: yeast ferments glucose best in this moderate temperature range. Too hot kills yeast, too cold slows activity. 2. Which organism is used in the fermentation process to produce ethanol? Answer: B. Yeast. Explanation: yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, converts sugars into ethanol and carbon dioxide. 3. What is the catalyst used in the catalytic hydration of ethene to ethanol? Answer: C. Phosphoric acid. Explanation: ethene is hydrated with steam using phosphoric acid on silica as a catalyst under high pressure. 4. What is the primary byproduct of ethanol fermentation? Answer: C. Carbon dioxide. Explanation: fermentation of glucose produces ethanol and CO2, C6H2O6, 2C2H5OH plus 2CO2. 5. Which of the following is a major advantage of using ethanol as a fuel? Answer: C. Clean burning. Explanation: ethanol burns more cleanly than petrol, producing fewer pollutants and greenhouse gases. 6. What is the chemical formula for ethanol? Answer: D. C2H5H. Explanation: ethanol contains 2 carbon atoms, 6 hydrogens, and 1 oxygen atom. 7. Which process requires high pressure and temperature for ethanol production? Answer: B. Catalytic hydration. Explanation: industrial hydration of ethene to ethanol needs high temperature, high pressure, and a catalyst. 8. Ethanol combustion primarily produces. Answer: C. CO2 and H2O. Explanation: complete combustion of ethanol gives carbon dioxide and water, C2H5OH plus 3O2 2CO2 plus 3H2O. 9. What is the disadvantage of ethanol production through fermentation? Answer: B. Slow process. Explanation: fermentation takes time, requires large bioreactors, and gives dilute ethanol that must be purified. 10. Which industry uses alcohol extensively as a solvent? Answer: B. Pharmaceuticals. Explanation: ethanol is widely used in medicines, tinctures, syrups, and as a disinfectant. Short answer questions. 1. What is the chemical equation for the fermentation of glucose to ethanol? C6H2O6, 2C2H5OH plus 2CO2. Glucose is broken down by yeast enzymes in anaerobic conditions. The products are ethanol and carbon dioxide. 2. Name 2 advantages of producing ethanol via fermentation. It uses renewable raw materials like sugarcane or maize. The process is simple, low cost, and can be carried out at normal pressure and temperature. 3. What catalyst is used in the catalytic hydration of ethene to ethanol? Concentrated phosphoric acid, H3PO4, is used as the catalyst. It is placed on a solid support, such as silica, in the industrial process. 4. List 2 disadvantages of the catalytic hydration method for ethanol production. It requires high temperature and pressure, which increases cost. It depends on ethene from crude oil, a non-renewable resource. 5. What are the primary products of ethanol combustion? On complete combustion, ethanol produces carbon dioxide, CO2, and water, H2O. This reaction also releases a large amount of energy. 6. Why is ethanol considered a renewable fuel? Ethanol is produced from plant materials like sugarcane, maize, or biomass. Since plants can be regrown, the source is renewable and sustainable. 7. How is ethanol used in the pharmaceutical industry? Ethanol is used as a solvent in medicines, syrups, and tinctures. It is also applied as a disinfectant and preservative in many pharmaceutical preparations. 8. Describe 1 environmental benefit of using ethanol as a fuel. Ethanol burns more cleanly than gasoline, producing less carbon monoxide and fewer harmful particulates. This helps reduce air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. 9. What role does yeast play in ethanol production? Yeast provides the enzymes needed to break down glucose anaerobically. It converts sugars into ethanol and carbon dioxide during fermentation. X. Name two industries where alcohols are used as solvents. Alcohols are used in the pharmaceutical industry for medicines and syrups. They are also widely used in the cosmetic industry for perfumes and lotions. 11. Write the chemical equation for the fermentation of glucose. CO2 plus 2. This reaction takes place in the presence of yeast under anaerobic conditions. 12. Evaluate the environmental impact of the two ethanol production methods. Fermentation is renewable and eco-friendly, but produces CO2 and requires large farmland. Catalytic hydration is faster, but depends on crude oil, a non-renewable resource, and uses more energy. 13. 14. Discuss the benefits of using ethanol as a fuel in internal combustion engines compared to gasoline. Ethanol burns more cleanly than gasoline, releasing fewer harmful gases. It has a higher octane number, which improves engine performance and reduces knocking. Since it is renewable, ethanol also reduces dependence on fossil fuels. 15. Describe how ethanol is used in cosmetic products. Ethanol is used as a solvent in perfumes, deodorants, and sprays to dissolve essential oils. It acts as a preservative to prevent bacterial growth. Ethanol also provides a quick drying and cooling effect in lotions and other cosmetic products. 16. Explain the role of alcohols in the pharmaceutical industry. Alcohols, especially ethanol, are used as solvents in syrups, tinctures, and liquid medicines. They act as preservatives to extend shelf life. Ethanol and isopropanol are also widely used as disinfectants for medical instruments and skin sterilization. 17. Evaluate the environmental impact of the two ethanol production methods. Fermentation uses renewable resources like sugarcane and maize, making it eco-friendly, but requires farmland and produces carbon dioxide. Catalytic hydration is faster and gives pure ethanol, but depends on fossil fuels, ethene, and requires high energy, contributing to pollution. Overall, fermentation is more sustainable, while catalytic hydration is efficient but less environmentally friendly. Long answer questions. 1. Compare and contrast the fermentation and catalytic hydration methods of ethanol production, including their advantages and disadvantages. Fermentation uses renewable raw materials such as sugarcane, maize, or fruits. It is carried out by yeast at moderate temperatures, 25 to 35 degrees Celsius, and normal pressure. The process is cheap and eco-friendly but slow and produces dilute ethanol that requires distillation. On the other hand, catalytic hydration uses ethene from crude oil. It requires high pressure, 60 to 70 atm, and high temperature, 300 degrees Celsius, with phosphoric acid as a catalyst. This method is fast and produces pure ethanol directly, but is costly and depends on non-renewable resources. Thus, fermentation is sustainable but less efficient, while catalytic hydration is efficient but environmentally less favorable. 2. Explain the combustion process of alcohols and discuss why they are considered cleaner fuels compared to fossil fuels. The combustion of alcohols, such as ethanol, involves reaction with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. C2H5OH plus 3O2, 2CO2 plus 3H2O. This reaction releases energy with minimal production of harmful gases. Unlike fossil fuels, alcohols contain no sulfur, so they do not produce sulfur dioxide, a major cause of acid rain. They also generate fewer particulates and carbon monoxide. Because alcohols are oxygenated fuels, they burn more completely. Hence, alcohols are considered cleaner fuels compared to petroleum-based fuels. 3. Discuss the role of ethanol in fuel production, highlighting its benefits and potential challenges. Ethanol is blended with gasoline to form gasohol, which improves engine efficiency and reduces harmful emissions. Its renewable nature makes it an attractive alternative to fossil fuels. Ethanol has a high octane rating, which prevents engine knocking. However, challenges include lower energy content compared to gasoline, requiring more fuel for the same distance. Large-scale ethanol production from crops also competes with food supply and requires farmland. Despite these challenges, ethanol remains an important biofuel for reducing dependence on petroleum. 4. Describe the impact of alcohols on various industries, including pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, and household products. Analyze the overall impact of alcohols on daily life, considering their use as fuels, solvents, and disinfectants, and discuss potential health and environmental implications. Alcohols play a vital role in many industries. In pharmaceuticals, ethanol is used as a solvent, disinfectant, and preservative. In cosmetics, alcohols are used in perfumes, sprays, and lotions as solvents and stabilizers. In household products, alcohols are found in cleaning agents, sanitizers, and fuels. In daily life, alcohols are essential as fuels, solvents, and disinfectants, making them indispensable. However, excessive use as beverages can lead to health risks such as liver disease and addiction. Environmentally, alcohols burn cleaner than fossil fuels, but large-scale crop-based production may affect food supply and land use. Thus, alcohols bring major benefits, but must be managed responsibly. 5. Compare the advantages and disadvantages of the two methods of ethanol production in terms of energy efficiency, cost, and environmental impact. Fermentation is less energy efficient but low cost and environmentally sustainable since it uses renewable crops. Its disadvantage is slow production and the need for distillation. Catalytic hydration is highly energy efficient and produces ethanol rapidly and in pure form. However, it requires expensive equipment, high energy input, and relies on non-renewable fossil fuels. Environmentally, fermentation has a lower carbon footprint, while catalytic hydration increases dependence on petroleum. Thus, fermentation is eco-friendly but inefficient, whereas catalytic hydration is efficient but not sustainable. 6. Analyze the impact of replacing traditional fossil fuels with alcohol-based fuels in terms of emissions and energy efficiency. Replacing fossil fuels with alcohol-based fuels reduces harmful emissions like carbon monoxide, sulfur oxides, and particulates. Alcohols burn more completely due to their oxygen content, making them cleaner. However, alcohols provide lower energy per liter compared to gasoline, which means more fuel consumption for the same energy output. While they reduce pollution, this drawback affects efficiency. Overall, alcohols improve air quality but may require engine adjustments or blending with gasoline to maintain efficiency. 7. Evaluate the feasibility of switching to ethanol as a primary fuel source for transportation in your country. Switching to ethanol as the primary fuel would reduce dependence on imported fossil fuels and cut harmful emissions. Pakistan, for example, produces sugarcane, which could provide raw material for fermentation. However, large-scale ethanol production requires significant farmland, which might affect food crops. Ethanol also provides less energy per liter compared to petrol, meaning higher consumption. Infrastructure for storage and blending would also need development. Thus, while beneficial for the environment, complete replacement is challenging and partial blending is more feasible in the near future. 8. Evaluate the impact of widespread use. Answer: the widespread use of alcohol-based disinfectants has greatly improved public health by reducing the spread of infectious diseases, especially during pandemics. Ethanol and isopropanol kill bacteria and viruses effectively. However, overuse may cause skin dryness, irritation, and contribute to antimicrobial resistance indirectly. Environmentally, alcohol disinfectants evaporate quickly and do not persist, making them relatively safe. But large-scale production increases energy use and agricultural demand. Overall, the health benefits outweigh the risks, but responsible production and use are necessary.